Are live.
Yeah. Hello.
There we go.
Hola.
Back
Hey.
for
Hello,
another
folks.
fun adventure.
Hey.
Season, love the face, buddy. Love the energy. Good hustle.
Always.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
That's
why I'm
right. All
here.
right. Well, uh, Tazzik, take it away, buddy. Last time.
Last time on the Wormwood, we resumed our day and we noticed that the son of the first mate was injured, so Quint healed him and then sent him away with a little bit of food. Eldin entered Kroop's room and started wrangling the chickens again, offending them greatly and harvesting an egg in the process. Morgan took to singing a song while swapping the deck and got Rosie Cussel to sing along as she made her way around the deck. Tazzik introduced himself to the pirate with no name as he spat on the deck and Iru madly cleaning away his spit. Iru introduced himself to a woman and she told him that being born first was boring. Grok waited to see Quint or wanted to see Quint during his bath, but Eldin was a good wingman and diverted him until later or her till later. Then dried him off and cleaned his clothes using a magical gift. The galley gang found a quarter cask of Numerian wine for Grok with the hopes that we can get something from her. They got it over to her and she promised a boon, but Quint decided to hold off asking for anything until he decided his boon. Grok took the wine away to her cabin and they tried to investigate the locked door and discovered it is in fact locked. Tazzik discovered that the storm was approaching and would be here by nightfall. Morgan and Sam, barefoot, who seems to be a follower of Besmara and does not wear shoes, or straight, she met her. She asked if Morgan wanted to be off ship and mentioned there's a plan to. Oh no, wait, that was last week's. What's going on with that? Um,
We
oh,
like to keep you on your toes.
yeah. Uh,
I mean, so far, still a last time.
no, that might actually be accurate. It's a weird one. Iro took steps to ensure that the ship was ready for the coming storm, including closing the gunport hatches and strapping things down tight. Plug questioned Quint and Eldin and found out that Croup is lacking in his duties, questioned Quint over his feast and declared his feast was a waste of food on board ship. He gave him a smack and told him that he is the head, or that Plug might be the head chef now and will be watching their every move. Eldin attempted to wake Fishgut's Croup, and he succeeded under the glare of the chickens and got a bucket in front of Croup's face just in time to throw up into the bucket. Let him know the kitchen situation, cleaned him up before setting him off to meet Plug. Croup and Plug had it out, with Plug telling Croup to never miss another shift in the galley due to his drinking. Quint charmed Plug and got the ship off of half rations, although Quint is likely to get a flogging and half rations still. Eldon got a lesson on how to. Eldon got a lesson in how to make grog, and ran off to find a bucket of water. Quint went to feed Owlbear. We had the great meal and dispersed. Tazzik went down to the bilges to train the rats. Iro and Morgan got together, and Morgan told Iro about the escape attempt, and Iro and Morgan went to tell the others. Quint, Morgan, and Eldon discussed the plan. Forgot to tell Tazzik that there was an escape attempt happening in the bilges, then decided to do just their nightly tasks, including playing dice. Iru fed Owlbear. Eldon went to bed early, as did Iru. Quint went to see Grok's cabin, and Morgan went to Scourge's cabin. Tazzik was training his rats when he heard a splash behind him, and the session faded to black.
Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. So, before we get started on today's shenanigans, I do need to see a couple of fortitude saves from Morgan and Iru, please.
There you go. That is the 12 that becomes a 13.
And a 6 that becomes an 11. Excellent. Give me 2 seconds here. Let me double check these DCs. Because I believe... Excellent. Okay. Perfect. Ooh, and can I get yes, okay, Iru. Can you roll for me 2d3 please? So like it's two 1d3s.
Roll 2. Yeah, I'll just do
All right, so you take. Oh, Jesus. Iru, my boy, you take 1 dexterity damage
Oh, great.
and 3 constitution damage.
Oh, great.
Oof.
So, rough. Real rough.
He still only removes likely 2 hit points.
Yeah,
only 2.
that's fine. You'll be okay. There's no cause for alarm.
And we've established that damage, the first point, doesn't affect your
Yeah.
score yet.
So the dex
Yeah.
damage won't affect him, but the 2 points of con damage will, and the third point's just kind of threatening.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so that was saves. I would recommend talking to the ship's doctor, perhaps, especially Iru, because you're looking particularly sick today.
Thank you.
All right, and yeah, I think that's it.
Is Morgan looking okay? I got a higher roll than her, but
yeah, that's what happened there wasn't a matter of the save; it was a matter of the onset.
oh,
So, it'll be fine. You'll recover. Probably. It's not like you just took damage to the stat that dictates how easy it is to overcome this disease. Not like that didn't happen, so everything's fine. No cause for alarm. You'll be okay. Anyway, Quint. Well, I mean, you guys know what you need to do. Start your day. What's up? Take it away, folks. Morgan, I believe you did say you spent the night with Scourge.
Yes, she did.
So why don't you tell us how that's going for you? How's your morning going?
Morgan wakes up before anyone else in the cabin, and she's actually going to take the opportunity to look around. So if I can make a perception check.
By all means, go right ahead. And that reminds me, let me put this like so. Excellent. That was a 4 for a 9. So where you find yourself is inside of a dimly lit room with 2 sets of bunk beds and one just regular twin size bed. They're all pretty small, but you definitely tell that this is where the officers spend most of their time when they're off duty. Several chests adorn the floor, most of them sitting at the foot of the beds of the people who sleep in there. And they're labeled with names. A quick glance, you do see that they're all locked. None of them were left open overnight. And the room does have, the faint odor of unwashed pirate. But that seems to just be most places on this ship, so.
Okay. With that, Morgan just kind of gets out of there as quickly as possible, not to get yelled at by Plug, and starts her day with
All right,
swapping
so
the deck.
I'll put you here on the main deck. So you're just to clarify too with position there. That room is still technically on the same floor as the main deck. It's just the way the map's laid out. It's a little weird. All right, so
Gotcha.
Iru steps outside.
why, hello there.
And he finds himself face to face with Stinky McFallison, whose name none of you guys have dared to learn because approaching him is a awful time. And the other gentleman, the one who Iru actually spent cleaning up his spit from whatever drug he was chewing on from yesterday. And they're waiting. They kind of rush you along, though. You can tell they're waiting for somebody, thankfully, who isn't you.
I kind of just walk around. I kind of see they're blocking the path there, so I kind of walk around.
All right. Eldin, same deal. They stare you down, but they do not respond to your appearance.
All right. swim and start heading towards the galley.
Walk around here. I'll take you guys up to the top deck. And Quint, my boy, you do recall a threat of some lashings from the captain yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Quint kind of he looks very tired. Not as tired as he did the previous night, but he's kind of almost limping, shuffling his way along, and he's like kind of rubbing his jaw. And he steps out of the room.
And the two kind of stare at you. You do you smell him definitely before you see him, and the other gentleman who you tried to make friends with yesterday as well is staring you down. They're holding their cudgels, and they don't look all too impressed. And
Quint,
you gonna come easy, or you gonna come hard?
Well, I think I already got that out of my system. Now I might as well follow you guys.
There's a good lad. And the very greasy, sticky fat man kind of grabs you, not a little rougher than he probably needs to escort you to the top.
All right. He says, "You can keep your hands on me if you want, but I can follow along, no problem. What's your name, by the way? I've seen you around, but I haven't had a chance to talk with you." And Quint kind of looks towards the big greasy man.
Oh man, big greasy man. Where is it? It's there somewhere. Phipps. They call me Phipps.
Phipps. Well, understood. You officer on board?
Just the muscle, sir.
Gotcha. No, that's good. That's important. How about you? And he kind of gestures towards the other gentleman with a bandana.
The other gentleman looks at you and he just kind of says, "I don't talk to food."
Oh, I like the way you think, my friend.
As they lead you past where everyone else is lined up, and Eldin, you do get the sense you are due on deck. As other than Owlbear, the second hold is completely empty.
All right.
Ooh, that rave as you walk past there you go. Get you up there. And Quint, so they kind of lead you up. You see, rather alarmingly, that the captain is on deck this morning, and you haven't really seen him on deck since they keel-hauled somebody.
Okay. If possible, as Quint's kind of getting shuffled along, if he has a hand free, I think he would kind of subtly reach into his very meager possessions and then kind of wipe something on the back of his neck.
All right. Like, what are you looking to wipe here? You do have a hand free, so.
Yep. Okay. So as he reaches into his pocket, he carries a small selection of like greases. It seems to be some kind of tallow with some kind of like crushed petal in it. And it looks like some kind of salve, and he's just going to rub it on the back of his neck, kind of right underneath the collar of his jacket.
All right. Excellent. And so, yeah, by all means, you could do that. You're trying to do it sneakily, or you don't care if people see you?
I think he would do it sneakily.
Yeah,
so I'll give you a roll for
a
that.
Sleight of hand would be a fair one.
Sure. Nice. That's a 17.
Right, you're 17 to your sleight of hand. Well, that's pretty good. The way this works is that people roll perception against your 17, so. But luckily, the two people who are escorting you don't actually notice. So, not that I think you would have ran into any issues if they did. Anyway, they escort you up to the top deck, and they kind of shuffle you behind. And, yeah, so I guess it's time then. Okay, Barnabas. Let's see if I can do this again. I did it so well last time. I feel like the pressure's on me to repeat that. Barnabas takes to the crew. He walks to the front of the steering deck, which name escapes me. He says, "I believe there's been some talk of escape on the ship." And you see that the crowd begins to can't see Barnabas. Can it?
I can see Barnabas.
Yep, I can see him as well. He's right in front of the helm.
Yeah, hold on. That's crazy because like when I click on your token, it gives me your character's vision, and I can see Barnabas. So see plugin Scourge. What the? Okay, hold on. Let me try this. Make him disappear and reappear. Did that help?
I still see him.
Can't see him.
It looks like it. Which is crazy because like when I take over your token's vision, I can see him.
Just refresh the game page if you haven't already tried that.
Yeah, refresh. Yep.
All right. Well, I'll continue here then, really quick. I will have you know that such talk is not tolerated, and those who would wish to escape have been apprehended. And again, you see that the crowd kind of falls silent, and they look around to see who's missing. And, well, I mean, you guys kind of know one person who's missing. You want to roll perception, see if you notice anyone else? Or maybe you guys as players notice that there's a Quint. I mean, it's you're too caught up in what's going on.
There definitely does seem to be less people. I just can't realize who's missing.
All right, so Morgan and Iru both were rolling a natural 17 for a 22 to their perception. They both realize that Tazzik is, of course, missing, as well as the little escape artist herself. The character formerly known as Barefoot Sam's? Barefoot Tams? What was it again? Sam's. Barefoot Sam's is also missing. So
And I am.
Trouble. Now, we have dealt with one insurgent. We believe her to be the one who made the plans. She will no longer be an issue. But that is not all. And the captain gestures behind himself and meant to have this set up earlier. Sorry, boys. And you see coming from the from behind deck, Scourge approaches with a very bound and bruised Tazzik as they walk up. And people kind of gasp at the brutality of it all. You see Tazzik's face is not nearly as handsome and ratty as it was 12 hours ago. I will say that mechanically you will be taking a -2 on any charisma-based skill until this bruising heals or we receive magical healing, whichever comes first. And Captain continues and he says, "I do believe it is best to lead by example. And so you shall witness what happens to those who do not follow the law that is laid here. Another one of us decided it would be best to waste our rations." And he gestures for Quint to approach with his 2 keepers.
Quint kind of has his his little halfling head kind of in the air, almost defiantly, but he walks up, almost confidently.
"It is to be said that we do not take kindly to waste on this ship. So, you shall be flogged. You understand?" And he looks down at you.
Quint says, "I understand the rules of this ship now."
"I hope that you do. For in the future, I shall not be so kind. And he gestures to the ropes that are still tied around the base of the ship. And he looks at you, like deep into your eyes, seeing if you catch the meaning.
Quint actually undoes his jacket, the one that's really ratty and seems to be in tatters, and he unclasps it and he takes it off, revealing essentially this really wiry, shirtless halfling body. And as he does, you do see actually some of that ink that he was chatting to Eldin about. And you can see small tattoos around his wrists in lines that continue up his arms and then seem to kind of come to the base of his neck. You can also see, it looks like there might be some additional work at his neck, but whatever tallow that he threw on obscures it a little bit. And he says, "Yeah, I'm no stranger to punishment, Barnabas. Captain Barnabas." And as he says that, I think he truly does a double take, and he's like, "Did I just say that?"
You see that Barnabas smirks a little bit. He appreciates a little bit of dissent. But he looks down or he turns to Plug and he says, "Make sure it hurts." And Plug, he smiles, this sickly, sinister smile. And he says, "Aye, Captain. That I will." And then go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, he'll just kind of cast his eyes across the crowd, and he thinks about saying something else, and then he stops
Now,
himself.
do remember, too, you were on half rations last night. All right.
Yeah.
So with that, it's like as Quint just kind of takes a look amongst the crowd, Iru is going to kind of take a slight step forward, and kind of you can definitely hear the sickness in his in his throat here. It's just and with that sickness comes a little following shakiness as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just "Aye, Captain," as it's I know this isn't my place to speak.
It is not your place.
But I was
Tazzik's
wondering
just glaring at everyone during this.
if I could take Quint's position in the flogging. Take his punishment for him.
Quint does a double take.
You wish to be flogged in the Afman's place.
I do. Because it is better for the rest of the crew, because with Quintus being flogged, would he really be able to make the meals for the crew today?
That is a fascinating revelation. But would you like to roll diplomacy for me, please?
Well, indeed. I'm going to use a hero point on that, and that's a plus
Four after the roll, so it's
4.
16.
Plus.
So that's a 16.
Excellent.
Diplomacy check.
Excellent. Let me just, okay, the captain says, "But I am captain of this crew, and I decide where the punishments go. Plug,
Yes, Captain.
whip him too." And Plug turns to him and says, "With pleasure." So Iru, are you gonna stand there? Are you gonna try to run? What's the plan here, buddy?
No, Iru's gonna hold his ground. He wanted to. He offered it to take Quintus' spot. he knew what could happen, and sadly the latter happened. And so he's gonna stand here and.
I will commend you. That is a bold strategy to try to tell the captain how to run his ship.
I wasn't trying to tell him how to run his ship.
That's how he sees
That's
it,
not what
buddy.
I was trying to do.
Yep.
All right.
I was offering, like, I was basically offering you, like, myself as a sacrifice. I wasn't trying to tell him how to run a ship.
You offer any sort of advice, unwarranted advice to this man, and he's probably going to take it poorly.
Fair enough.
That's
Quint is currently like violently looking over Iru to see if he has any hidden like Zan Kuthan symbols on him. It's the only explanation.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah. You want some pain?
So it's just like with that, it's just like what, like once the words like whip them to come out, Iru kind of like just drops his like jacket onto the ground.
I'm sure there's plenty of scars from previous whippings on there.
There's not scars from previous whippings, but what, like with Iru's jacket finally like drawn, you do see like both of his like chest and like torso, like complete torso, back included, are all like sword like slash wounds, bullet wounds, and it's just like right there on his like lower abdomen. You see a giant like massive scar that just like kind of like penetrates completely like through both sides. It almost looks like a giant burn mark.
Interesting. All right. Good to know. Okay, well, now Barnabas comes over to the insurgent. And he looks down at Tazzik, who is barely conscious. Like, this man is. He's in no fear of dying, but
I just glare at him with one eye because the other eye is swollen shut.
have you learned your lesson?
Very.
Sorry, what'd you say? Very?
Yeah.
Excellent. Scourge, put him in the box. And with that, the captain just kind of stomps away and disappears into his captain's quarters. So, with gusto, you see that the man you now know as Phipps and the other nameless guy who just outright refuses to give anybody his name go, and they lead Quint down the steps and to the center mast, where they quickly tie his wrists to the pole while leaving his back exposed. And they do, of course, the same to Iru. So Iru, you'll be opposite. And Plug now comes down ever so slowly, enjoying it, hoping that you guys feel the fear of what's coming here. And so let me just double check here what the damage dice are like for you folks, because he's not nice about it. Okay, so this is the cat. Okay, perfect. So, Iru, for your unprompted outburst, you will be taking you'll be taking 3 lashes. So, would you like me to roll the damage for you, or would you like to roll the damage?
What's the damage? And I'll answer there.
It's gonna
I'll answer
3d4. 3d4 slashing damage.
I'll roll it. That is a nice 6 damage.
All right, that's 6. That's 6 lethal. It does come from a cat of 9 tails, so it is lethal damage.
Nominally
average facts.
Just like your sadness.
And Quint, your punishment's going to be a little more severe because you actually performed the crime. So you will be taking 5d4. So 5 lashes.
Okay. Quint will again look at the crowd, and then he's going to fix his stare straight on the on the wood in front of him. He's going to concentrate on the pattern. And I'd like you to roll that for me.
All right, let's do this a little more. Should I roll them one at a time or just all at once?
Yeah, do it.
It's /R, right? So go 1d4. Oh, I rolled them privately. That I did. I'm also rolling them as Plug, which I guess is actually accurate. It should be Plug that's rolling this. Okay, so the first one was a 3, because I came off as a private roll.
All right.
This is lethal.
Is this
Yes.
lethal?
4. Oh, good. We're starting off great. 4.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Quintus. I wish I could have taken this for you.
2. There we go. Finally, something that's below average. And a 1. Okay.
And
All
then
right. So that would be what, a total of 13?
Yep.
No, wait, more than that.
Still standing.
14.
14, I think.
4 and 4, 8, 11. Yeah, 14. Perfect. So Quint, you're still standing.
Yes, he is. And I'll add, actually, as this is happening, you do see across his back many similar scars. This is something he's experienced in the past. And yeah, you can hear he lets out a few pain grunts, but otherwise he keeps his eyes fixed on that one spot on the mast.
Ooh, it hurts my soul to do this to Quint. And finally, Scourge, who isn't above a little bit of extra suffering himself, instead of escorting Tazzik's limp body down, like, carrying it basically, he just kind of like chucks him over the side of the rail. Which thankfully is not far enough for Tazzik to actually take any damage, but he just kind of like lands in a pile at Iru's feet.
It's just like with that, like Iru kind of just like looks down and just kind of like under his breath, it's like, "Good luck, friend," as he kind of like nods his head.
And well, these guys are all standing in the way of where the box is. So Quint and Iru, you guys are set free to go about your duties. You know where to be.
As Iru like walks away, he kind of like picks up his jacket and like swings it back over his shoulders.
Defiant until the last. And Tazzik, I'm just going to stick you over here in this little section that we discerned as the box. And
Wow, my lockbox is cheating on me.
oh, there you go. Pinned. That works. That works for being locked up. You're pinned. And I love how the pin symbol is an actual like thumbtack. So good. So good. All right, and so Scourge goes back up to the ship. You do see that he gives a casual wink at Morgan, and Morgan, you just like, that was the most disappointing night of your life. All right, so now everyone kind of goes back to their duties and starts milling about the ship. So these guys go here. Just give me a quick second here to put all these tokens where they belong. The joys of having, well, one less token to deal with, because everyone else was pretty problematic. Ratline, you'll go here. Rosie, you're a swab. Sorry, you're a swab. This guy runs the cannons. You're a swab. You're going to go hang out with your mom. And you, of course, are going to go take care of your pigs. You love those pigs so much. Alrighty. And then these two take their posts once more. So, Tazzik, there aren't going to be much for you to do inside that box, but I will... Well, I mean, is there anything you want to try doing while you're in there?
I mean, not really much I can do. Unless
I would argue...
Actually, no, I know exactly what I want to do.
I would argue that you could probably make some perception rolls, see if you can overhear any sort of conversating going on, but that's a...
So I want to make some perception rolls. I also want to use something that I have to carve on the inside of the box. Tazzik was here.
Well, yeah, I do believe rat folk do have pointed claws. So you should be able to do it with your claws even. The box is... It's wood on the inside, metal on the outside, so...
Perfect.
Shouldn't be too difficult. Morgan, you're swabbing. Iru, you're swabbing. Tazzik, you're bacon. And so for the record, you're at 2 HP. So chances are being inside this box is going to knock you out because you will be taking damage as the day progresses.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't... Unless they leave you in there for a week, I don't think you're in any fear of dying.
No.
So.
Let's hope not.
All right, so Grok, you'll take... your space there. Fish guts is, of course, going to be cooking away. You guys learned the fat man's name. Let me just give the fat man display name when hovered by anyone. There we go. So you guys should be able to see his name now when you mouse over it. And now, Quint, I will say that while you were being escorted away, you could tell this man was quiet. People don't usually talk to him for obvious reasons, and he didn't enjoy the chit chat. You do get the impression that he didn't really hold any ill will against you. He doesn't particularly like you or care for you, but he didn't mind the few words that were exchanged.
This was
this is
bandana
the
pirate.
Fat Man. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Fat
No,
Man,
no.
gotcha.
The
Mr.
bandana
Fist.
pirate is like
Mr.
you're not.
Cool.
He doesn't even see you as people. Even half of people would be pushing
think-
it.
As I think before Quint kind of gets shuffled below deck, he would probably look to someone with authority and say, "I should probably have Stitchman look me over before
Well,
I
I'm
head
glad
to
you
the
said that
galley."
because Stitchman was actually going to be heading to you shortly. I was just waiting for you to get set up inside the galley.
Excellent.
So excellent timing. But yeah, don't worry, Stitchman's coming for you.
Cool. All right, then he'll make his way to the galley slowly. And as he does, I think as soon as he kind of gets below deck, he'll take a little bit of that mixture that he had on his neck. He'll put his jacket back on, and he'll kind of rub it on his wrists where the tattoos were. And as he does, he kind of breathes in, and he is going to use Hands of Healing on himself.
And he's going to heal some HP.
My goodness.
Oh, wow.
What would have
Gee
guessed?
whizzes. And that's that. As he makes his way
Awesome.
down below deck.
So yeah, you did take a bit of damage there. I couldn't believe 344. Whew.
Yeah. 14
Out
lethal
of
damage.
I don't even remember how much HP. It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, I can say Quintus
Okay.
has 22 HP. He's
Yeah,
a
pretty tanky for a
boy,
small man.
actually.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Small
Yeah,
but
so
tanky.
Eldin, I think you're good. You didn't have any diseases, nothing. Yeah, you slept pretty decently, so you got your long rest. Just couldn't believe you flubbed that roll, man. Whew. That's your healing. I was like, what's the 6 for?
Yeah. Oh, so Quint just healed 8
All right,
HP.
nice. 8 HP. Very nice.
Yeah. You know what? He'll use it a second time.
Just
when
gonna
it's
come
done.
back and like you're gonna be fully stitched up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 6 more HP. Damn. Okay, Quint just healed 14 HP, and he looks like all of a sudden all of those wounds on his back, they just they fade into that kind of mottled, almost
Ooh.
tree bark texture, and he seems to have a slight more bounce in his step.
All right. Well, good for you, Quint. I'm going to check in with our people up top since we're leaving the main deck, see how our main deck folks are doing. And then I'll come check in with you guys in the galley, so give you some time to think. Morgan, what are you up to today?
Morgan was actually going to follow Quint to
Oh.
make sure he was okay. Because she
Perfect.
saw
All
how
right,
much
well,
of
here,
a
I'll
beating
pop
he
you in,
took.
then below deck. That's me using the wrong freaking screen. Having the stream camera open as well as the DMing screen, always fun. Oh, dude,
Get
it's
real good at juggling.
It's a tragedy. All right, well, Morgan, lead the way. You know where Quint is.
Oh.
So she approaches Quinn and, how are you doing after that?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm more my ego is bruised, but I'm all right. Stishman's on his way over. I'm sure I'll be fine.
You took a hell of a beating, half-man.
That I did. I'm glad you noticed. It's not the first time I've taken a flogging, and it's certainly not the last. Did you see that? Did you see how Iru just volunteered for seconds?
Oh, God, that man is an idiot.
It's remarkable. Literally, I told him, keep your mouth shut. Just don't speak out of turn. But no, I think the secret is you just tell him what you don't want to have happen, and he will do the exact opposite of whatever you want. So that's good
You
to know.
know what? I think that's a tactic we may need to start applying with him.
Yes. I like the way you think. I think we can weaponize this.
To know, good to know.
Well, thank you, Morgan. I appreciate you checking in on me. I'll be okay. I've got ways to keep stay out of trouble, I suppose. That being said, though, unfortunately, the crew has been restricted to half rations, though that may have only been for a day. I gotta go double check. My mind's swimming a little bit. But well, if you find yourself hungry, feel free to stop by the galley. I'm sure I can make something work.
Much appreciated.
So, how you feeling, by the way? I noticed. Was it Scourge? He's been making some strange eyes at you.
Well, as my grandmother always said, lie back and think of Besmara in some cases.
Oh, well, I recommend Callistria, though Besmara's got that real pirate charm.
Oh.
I don't have the...
We didn't have much else to worship on the island where I came from.
Fascinating. Whereabouts are you from?
No place you'd ever heard of.
You'd be surprised, but you're probably right. Well, I don't quite have the luxury of being able to lay back. I gotta admit, my jaw is killing me. But that's okay. You gotta make your best on a pirate ship. And thank goodness that Eldin here has his magical ability to make things smell great.
Well, should you need and find yourself in need of someone with a little more muscle than anything, you let me know, savvy?
Oh, I think so. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. Either way, understood. Well, I should probably go to the galley. I'd rather not make a spectacle of myself over the next couple days.
Probably not a good idea. And Morgan's going to kind of start taking her leave, though she notices she feels kind of funny, but she doesn't really know what's going on.
Interesting.
God damn it, I hope Scourge didn't give me anything.
You do recall those bites from the other day. Those nasty little rat sisses as well, but I mean, who knows?
Yep.
Maybe Scourge has something. I'm still trying to look at his character sheet to see if it actually mentions any diseases. They explicitly say that this man is like one of the most disgusting human specimens on ever seen. So.
I mean, with how Morgan was designed as a character, she's probably got a bingo card for that stuff.
Gotta catch them all. All right, so Morgan, I'll get you back to the top deck then, unless there's anything else you want to do down here. All right, well, as you're walking to the top of the deck, you do pass Stitchman, who you assume is on his way to take care of Quint. But before we get there, Iru, how you doing, buddy?
After the lashings, he was just kind of walking around doing his job.
Just walking around doing his job, not doing anything in particular?
Nope.
All right, well, while you're swabbing away, the halfling woman with the red scarf approaches you, and she looks you up and down. Like she's curious as to what's going on in between those ears of yours. She opens her mouth and she says, "What in the fuck was that?"
I was trying to protect the cook.
You know there's no honor amongst thieves, right? You know the same applies to pirates.
Yeah. Most pirate ships are different than this.
And you see her like stare off into the distance there, like you swear you see like the equations passing through her head, like, and she just looks at you like, what?
A man is supposed to protect their own.
I mean, and she looks at the color of your skin, the fact that you're very not human, halfling, gnome, ratfolk. The fuck are you on about? As far as I'm concerned, there's only one like you. You're the only one on this fucking ship.
not actually one of my own.
I-
It's most of the formidably made people. They haven't really been pirates before this trip, so I was, and so I kind of felt like it was part of my duty to try to protect them as much as I can.
And she just like again, she just looks at you and like you see that her impressions of you are changing a little bit, and not necessarily for the better. Well, I'll keep you in mind next time I'm about to get flogged. And she just kind of like shakes her head as an idiot. She like walks away to just like keep swabbing.
Yeah, I'll just keep swabbing.
Alrighty. Well, since you're doing your job, would you like to roll a profession sailor check for me, please?
Little dudes. That's his a 22.
Excellent. All right, you are the best swabber that's ever swabbed. You got today's duties down to a science.
Fair enough. And yeah, that's just mine.
Definitely appreciate the I love your take on pirate code and stuff in honor. That's good. Unfortunately, this ain't the ship for that. Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
I mean, it literally says like in the pirate code to protect your own. So I'm
straight facts. No, like I'm not. No one. Listen, no one who's actually. How do I put this? Anyone who isn't pure hate understands what you tried to do there.
Right.
It's just
right attitude.
Yeah, it's just the wrong ship to do it on. When you start running your own ship, that sort of attitude probably be rewarded on the Wormwood. Well, most of these people are supposed to be unlikable bastards, and so that's how it goes. But keep it up. Maybe it'll change their minds.
I tried.
Yeah, no, you did fine. Anyway, okay, so Morgan, Iru, Tazzik, you said you're just carving away your name in there as you're like barely conscious.
And trying to overhear anything that happens on deck through the
let's give yourself
walls.
a perception check then. The walls are pretty thin. They're more just designed to keep the humidity and heat in than they are to keep sounds out.
Perception. I just want to make sure that actually works.
All right, so 17 to perception.
Sorry, that should actually be a 19. Should have 2 plus 2 from racial that's not applying for some reason. I'll fix that.
All right. All right. Duly noted. All right. Well, with a 19 to perception. Yeah, most of the sounds are muffled. You do hear that the bandanaed pirate who usually keeps guard towards the ship that you are towards the captain's cabin, the one who's usually standing there, the one with the bandana. You can hear him kind of humming to himself, and you get the distinct impression that he's bored. But beyond that, with a 19, there ain't much more you can hear, unfortunately. I'll let you try again in the afternoon. If you're alive. I mean, the damage isn't that great. It's only, I'm pretty sure it's a, yeah, let's see here. Confined to the sweatbox. You'll be fine. For the morning, though, would you care to roll a fortitude save for me, please?
Sure. Not an awful save of mine.
Okay, perfect. You can feel the heat building, but it doesn't really affect you much. In short, you made the save.
I just shout out, "This isn't how you cook a rat."
Cog just kind of like pounds. Sorry, the bandanaed pirate just kind of like bounds on the box. Just shot him there. You guys don't know his name? What? I didn't say his name by mistake. I don't know what you're talking about. What's going on? That's right. That's right. This completely wooden ship has machine parts on it somewhere. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You can have wooden cogs.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, I genuinely didn't hear what you said.
All right. Whew.
I tuned
All right.
right
Well,
out.
Eldin, you're up, buddy.
Eldin's just kind of doing some prep work, just poorly chopping onions and trying like very slowly understand the mechanics of cutting things without like.
Wait, you're trying to tell me you don't have a rank and profession cook?
Just
What's
like,
the matter with you?
oh no.
What kind of pirate are you?
All right. Well, with Kroop's watchful eye, who did thankfully wake up this morning, Kroop kind of like nods approvingly and says, "You can be a little more rough, lad. It doesn't have to be that bad, or that clean." As he's just like, you look over and he's just like chopping onions with a cleaver in half and just like sweeping them into the pot.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Eldin, Quint, what are you guys up to?
Quint would make his way into the galley. He would act like he's still pretty injured. He would slowly walk in, be like, Eldin, Kroop, you slept quite well last night, like a rock.
No, I'm just good at faking it.
Ooh, well, you're very good at it, then. My apologies. And then he just kind of looks over and says, "All right, I'm just gonna discreetly find something to shove into my mouth. This doesn't count as a ration. Don't worry." Starts looking for like raw potatoes or something.
There are raw potatoes on the ship.
Yeah, he's got to get something in him.
Eat that raw potato, buddy. Oh man, part of me is like, roll a fortitude save. No, that's fine. Have you ever actually taken a bite out of a raw potato? It is not pleasant.
Yeah.
I have, actually.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
it's the epitome of raw.
All right. Well, you're getting your extra half of your ration in. I mean, your not ration. Totally wouldn't get you in trouble if somebody of authority caught you doing it.
Yep. I'd have it on good authority that we're going to have a new addition to our kitchen today, so I just want to get this out of the way early. He eats as much as he can reasonably and then continues to actual work and says, "Well, you guys got a good flow going on. You practically don't need me." Then he kind of like pats Eldin on the upper back, trying to reach for his arm.
Stand up on his
shoulder.
tiptoes and just go to town.
Yeah.
It's funny, I've been saying the same thing all for the past 3 days we've been here. I've been trying to find something to do in here with the two of you.
Well, while you guys are figuring out what Quint can do, Officer Stitchman approaches and he points at Quint. "Come with me."
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. I was gonna make my way to you. All right, I'll follow you. And Quint
And
will
he kind of
head
leads
out.
you over to where the sick and injured are taken care of, the hay pile in the corner in the bowels of the ship.
I remember this hay pile.
Yep. Don't worry, lad. Hay hasn't been replaced since you last used it.
Truthfully, that doesn't really bother me. I've been around a lot of, well, less savory things in my time.
All right. Well, assume the position, turn your head, and cough for me as he pulls out a rubber glove.
Yeah. You're gonna have a hard time with that, but and as he's talking, Quint will actually take off his jacket. He'll say, "With all due respect, you're welcome to take a closer
And
look."
Stitchman doesn't really react since he kind of already knew you were capable of this. And he says, sorry, you were about to say something. Go ahead.
Quint would just kind of like tap his the side of his nose and say, I have some experience with the healing arts, as you may have noticed. I do prefer to keep it, quiet, mainly because I think you have a very important role on the ship, and I have nothing against you, and I prefer being a cook.
And he looks at you and he says, "Your secret's safe with me. So long
Excellent.
as you help me out every now and then.
Oh, that can certainly be arranged, and I respect your position on the boat. You've given me no reason to dislike you, and honestly, you seem to go out of your way to help people without,
No.
being a pansy about
No.
it. I like that.
I go out of way to make sure the meat on this ship stays in working order. Nothing more, nothing less.
I've heard that before. And many people like you have that kind of attitude with labor. That's good, though. As a surgeon, I think you need to have a little bit of separation between you and the subject. You
You know
can't
what
be
got
too
me this
invested,
ship? You know what got me this
especially
position?
on a ship.
I was a butcher before.
Tell me. How do you think I got my job as a cook?
You're a terrible cook.
Sure. Well, yeah, I got myself flogged within 2 days of being on board. That's a new record.
I mean, to be
I'll take it.
for I guess new record
Man,
for you. I was gonna say, to be fair, what if you guys ended up in the sweat box on the first day?
Yeah.
Man, imagine if this
fine.
ship was actually helmed by good people. I don't think there's a character sheet on this ship that doesn't have an E at the end. All right. And so Stitchman kind of sticks out his hand and he says, "We've an accord."
I think we do. And Quint will put his hand up in
That's
the
a good
air
lad.
and shake it.
Now, if anyone asks, I stitched you up and you spent the whole time screaming.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? Hold on. You can punch me in the shoulder a few times if you want.
Never one to pass up an opportunity to beat the shit out of a halfling.
Not bad. I think Quint would kind of cup his hands over his mouth and it'd be like, "All right, hit me." And as he does, he'd just be like, "Ugh! Ah!
Now the
Oh,
real
God!
question
Ah!"
is does he hit you with intent? No, for your sake, I'm gonna say he doesn't. We're looking at quite a bit of damage that I don't think you could survive if he hit you more than 3 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll take. I'll give you. Let's say
I
3
like to
points of
have that.
non-lethal there for the 3 smacks he gives you,
Sure.
and you're gonna have yourself a hefty bruise.
I think at that, Quint would kind of whisper, "Truthfully, I think I did a little bit too good of a job of patching myself up. You get those for free. I let you take those swings, obviously."
Right.
All right, well, we have an accord. I'll get back to, food making, I suppose.
Good lad. And he steps away. Oh, and just between you and me, that meal yesterday, fantastic.
Yeah, you see kind of glimmer in his eyes, and he says, "I know. It was worth the
Oh,
flogging."
He's a
Then he
humble
continues
one,
to
that
the
guy.
galley.
Alrighty. All right, Eldin. So you're just chopping away. You looking to do anything in particular?
Not much. Kind of thinking along what Quint was saying earlier reminded me. Oh yeah, Mr. Plug may be stopping by to check in on us. So do my thing. Press digitation. Look around for anything that's looking particularly gnarly and like it might not want to be near food, and kind of just do my tidy thing and keep things looking a little
you
healthy,
just
a little
described
sanitary.
fish guts. Gross, gnarly,
Yeah.
shouldn't be in your
Yeah, no, he's on the list. He's on the list.
Love to see it. All right. Well, I mean,
Get the apron back to yesterday's.
oh yeah.
color again.
You don't know how he does it, but every day, man, that looks about the same. Okay, now let me see here. Actually, I do believe Quint has a special mission from his chef here. Not looking for this. I want cook. No, go up, please. Sorry, I'm just navigating this large PDF trying to remember the duties that one has on the ship. Oh, come on. Okay. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, never mind. Let's just say, instead of me rolling for it, we're just going to say that Croup has you fishing today.
Hey, my pleasure. Oh yes, Eldin, I gotta admit I was pretty jealous when I realized you went fishing the other day. I would love to spend some time above board. It's been a little while, you know.
Oh yeah, I'd say you've earned it after the morning you've had.
You. Yeah, it was worth it.
It was.
It wasn't. Yeah, thank you. Well, like I said, and Quint will kind of step closer and he says, the worse morale is, that might make things a little easier later. And then he'll open the door. He probably has to get a fishing rod from Cutthroat Grok.
Is that what they're calling it nowadays? It's terrible. There it is. Finally found it. It's like right at the start. Jeez. Anyway.
There's a hook joke in there somewhere.
All right. Well, Grok sleepily greets you. And she says, "What can I get for you?"
Yeah, I'm glad you got some sleep. I just need to get a fishing rod. Nothing too fancy.
I think I can arrange that. And she, steps to the back, rummages through some stuff, and provides you with a fishing rod, some line, a small bucket for your bait and for what you catch. And she says, "Get something special for me."
You got it. You got any of that wine left, or have you already burned through it?
It ran out before we met.
Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. Does explain a few things. All right, I'll see what I can catch. And he winks and then heads on his way.
Hear her gag. No. All right, I guess I'll take you up to the top of the ship. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Feel free. All right. So, Quint, you're up on top of the ship. You kind of squint your eyes as you step out into the broad daylight as there isn't a cloud in the sky. Which is terrible for Tazzik because he's sitting right in the sun. Mm-hmm. But, beyond that, everyone's working. No one's really paying attention to you. You do see some pity stares from some of the more indentured swabs, let's call them. But yeah, I mean, if there's anything particular you want to do, if you just want to get to work, I guess that would be a profession sailor or survival rather, or a profession fisherman if you have that.
Yeah, I'll do a profession sailor. Don't have that, unfortunately. Quint will kind of make his way. He'll come pretty close to the metal box, and he'll kind of provide a bit of a pity stare, but decide he can't really do anything right in front of out on the deck. So he continues on his merry way to find a nice fishing spot. And he'll kind of put his, throw out a net, toss his fishing line out. And as he does, he'll be like, "Sweet princess, hopefully you can find me some good eating tonight." And he casts guidance on himself.
Love to see the guidance.
And that is profession fisherman, you say? Sorry, I lied. Profession sailor. All right, if you insist. And you know what? We're feeling lucky. I'm going to use my selective luck to gain an additional plus 3.
All right.
Favored. Because, oh boy, do I like fishing.
I'm excited to see what you roll here.
Ooh, it's pretty good. It's 99
for 15. All right, so your fishing is bringing you some pretty decent luck, and you do manage to land some good morsels there. You do see that Giffer, who is usually one fishing or casting nets or something, does not appreciative at you as she's working on the ropes, kind of taking over for Tazzik's job. You get the sense as he's currently disposed of, a little tied up at the moment.
But hey,
Quint will kind of nod back, just say like, something about the sea, something about fishing. It's in my blood,
She
you know.
says, yeah. You know, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. And you look at her, and you see her hair is a little more wild than it usually is, and she does smell strongly of the sea, like a nice little hint of low tide. But you know, you're in the middle of the ocean. But you know, it's not like a bad scent. It's just like a scent, you know.
Yep. Well, you don't mind me asking, Quint says to Giffer, whereabouts you hail from? I've met plenty of little folk in my travels.
You know, good question. That not really sure where I was born, if I'm honest.
That makes two of us.
I'm assuming they's got to you too, and she kind of like. She like reveals her like collarbone to you, and you see that there's a brand mark in her shoulder.
Quint nods, and he kind of gestures to the back of his neck, but he doesn't reveal anything. Says, "Yeah."
How long you been out?
Don't like talking about these things, but 12 years now.
Look at you, been on the run.
Started on the run. I suppose everywhere I go is on the run, but I don't think they're looking anymore.
Yeah, you say that. You see her kind of like stare off into the distance a little, and you know, that's the one good thing about this ship, always on the move. Say what you will about Barnabas, right bastard that he is, but you know, since I've been on his crew, never been bothered really.
Yeah, I've spent a little time on the ocean out of necessity. It's the ultimate freedom.
Aye, that it is. You know, just 'cause we small, don't mean we's property, yeah?
That's right. It's a dangerous world for halflings out there, but seem to have a good head on your shoulders.
Nope, no one to keep my head down and no one to speak up.
I'll
can you
drink
roll
to that.
sense motive, actually, for that one?
Yeah, you got it.
Ooh, gosh, 19.
Oh my gosh!
For an
It's a
18.
natty 19 for 18.
Oh, man, it's hard to get excited about those really high rolls with a negative modifier. That is actually good enough. You do get the sense that this woman would sell you out if she thought she would like get any sort of boon for doing so.
Okay. Yep. I think Quint sees that in her eyes and just nods. Says, "Yeah, I think I understand you quite well."
I trust you'd do the same.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And you guys share this like moment of like mutual understanding. It's not a matter of disrespect; it's just a matter of keeping your skin intact.
Yeah. There's a reason why we're still alive and free, and it ain't doing the right thing.
Well, if I was still doing the right thing, I don't like to think where I'd be. And she says, anyway, got to get up top, and she like you just see her kind of climb up into the ropes, and she says, keep up the good work, and hopefully next time you decide to make such a wonderful meal. And you can tell she really, really appreciated last night's meal. Probably the best she's had in years by like the amount of like gratitude you can sense on her. You won't be so punished. Did you even get to try it?
Legally speaking, no. But absolutely. It was...
She kind of smiles at you and says, "Righty then." And just climbs up to the mast and starts doing her work up top. So it's 8:13. Do you guys want to do the 15-minute break now? Seems like you could spot the pause, and then we'll come back at 8:30 to play until whenever.
Makes sense to me.
Alrighty, so I'm just going to throw us here then on our Be Right Back. And yeah, alright, so you guys see you Twitch in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
there we are. We're back. Okay. We're only 3 minutes late. It's fine. Everything will be okay. Okay. And I'm actually centered on screen this time. That's good. I was Lisa so kindly informed me that I was like off to the side a little too far, and like you guys are just getting like the corner of my eyes there. So alrighty. Cool. So we're back to it here. We're gonna say midday has progressed. Y'all have had your rations of hardtack and grog. And your teeth hurt. You're a little drunk. And now it's the afternoon. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go down here. And I think... Actually, no, we're going to start with Ear. It's been a while since we checked in with Ears. What are you up to, buddy?
Basically just been making my rounds.
Making your
Swabbing
rounds,
the deck like
swabbing?
you were.
All right.
I'm probably going to head down to the basement soon.
Start swabbing the basement.
Eh.
All right. All right. Well, while you're cleaning, minding your own business, a familiar face kind of approaches you here. You see, it's the bandanaed pirate. He takes a walk around the sweatbox, and he goes out of his way to kick it. You know, as he's like strutting along, just kind of smashing it with the side of his foot there. For like,
it's just like as he kicks the side of the box, Ear just kind of like does get annoyed because he knows that Tazzik is in there. It's kind of like, but he does hold his composure. But bites his tongue there.
The bandanaed pirate looks at you as he sees you like not appreciative of his action. He says, "You got a problem?"
No problem at all, sir.
Right, lad. He looks around. He says, "You missed a spot." And you see he's like chewing on whatever it is this guy chews on.
And I make it so it's just like, yeah. So I'm assuming he's actively gonna like spit here.
That's an interesting assumption.
Can I kind of like make like a dex or like some type of roll here that I can like see which way he's spitting, and I can just kind of like put my bucket out right in front of the spit to catch it?
I'm sure that would be reflex.
That would be reflex?
Yes. Now, excuse me while
I'm good at that.
Quickly figure out what an appropriate save.
Iru's been begging for a reflex save for 3 games in a row.
Doesn't even matter.
Doesn't even matter. That is an 8.
All right, so you see your moment to shine and show this man up, and he quickly grab onto your bucket as you see him like purse his lips, and he unloads just this like red glob of ew out his mouth, and you go to toss the bucket in front of it to catch it, and it just slips out of your fingers, and the bucket just pours itself all over the deck, and unfortunately misses the glob entirely as it like just plants itself in a dry spot and just leaves a big red gross stain on the ground.
Iru just kind of like looks up, looks at his hands, like, well, that was supposed to be cooler.
You see, the guy kind of stops and looks at you at the audacity of what you just tried to do, and you can tell he's actually a little impressed. So he doesn't like further on berate you, but like says, next time you try something like that, make sure you land it. And he just like takes another just like huge loogie like right at your feet. And
like, as Iru just kind of like looks at, it's just like Iru like speaking out earlier, not embarrassed. Iru missing like screwing up that bucket cat, like looks down in shame, just sad with himself.
I love it when the dice just refuse to cooperate.
my like 1 + 6 in like any stat in any save, it drops bucket.
Well, he leaves.
Starts swabbing the water he spilled.
You do notice that Phipps, the stinky fat man that you know as Phipps, actually kind of recoils at the water as it splashes. You see him take like a brief step back, kind of pressing into the door that he's guarding. It's shift, it's not alt.
And it's just kind of, I kind of like, sorry, sir. I was just kind of like. I kind of like put my mop and just kind of like mop it up.
Yeah, and he just kind of stares at you. And he appreciates you taking the mop, and after the water's like made its initial like spray across the deck, he steps back and looks more comfortable. And so you you rolled a 22 earlier, so I'm not gonna make you roll again. Morgan, I'm assuming you're swabbing as one does.
Yep, Morgan's swabbing away.
Perfect. All right, and so Cog comes up to you. I mean, Bandana Pirate comes up to you. It's twice now. And he's still chewing away on whatever it is that he chews on. Says, "Saw you went to bed with the cat with Scourge last night."
Well, gotta entertain yourself somehow on this ship.
Is it true what they say? And you see him just kind of like,
Oh, love, go down a notch.
you see him smirk. Hi, good. And you see this guy's you see it in his eyes. He has genuine joy at that revelation. And he says,
Morgan just kind of leans in. This is just between you and I, Sabby.
Sure.
And she kind of winks at him.
If you ever want a night with a real man. And he just kind of like leaves it at that. And then he says, got some orders from Plug. Used to go into the bilges and clear out some spiders down there.
I can help with that. Am I allowed any gear?
Do you need to tear gear for spiders? Go talk to Grok. I don't care. And he just kind of like dismisses you and again hawks a loogie at like Iru's direction as he just goes back to his post.
I have the bucket in my hand. No.
I beat him in the head with the bucket. All right, so Morgan, you got some new orders. Whether or not you choose to follow them, up to you.
Yep. Morgan's gonna start making her way below deck, I guess.
All right. Yeah. Before.
Can Morgan actually do one thing quickly?
Sure, of course.
I'm gonna try cooling off the hot box actually for Tazzik.
Right.
Almost discreetly, Morgan's gonna try maybe running into Iru as she's swabbing, and tangle her mop with his.
Okay.
Just kind of like I continue swabbing. I kind of like look down, like look up. It's like, this is my mop you're hitting.
Lie back and think of Besmara. Is there any sort of
So for what you're doing is
speed I should do acrobatics or anything?
For this one, it's kind of a hard call because you're trying to make this look like an accident, right? So in this case, I'm gonna have to say it's probably a bluff.
Okay. Oh mother God! All right. Rip.
All right. Well, dude, that's fine. Okay, you're 13 to bluff. You do get some you do notice that some of the officers do kind of like raise your eyebrows at what's happening there as you're trying to fake your way, but for the most part, they don't really care what you're doing. I'm assuming you're spilling water on the sweatbox.
Yep, that's the idea.
Awesome. Well, so
it's not as hot.
Okay. Tazzik, you're just kind of sitting in the dark, questioning your life choices, even though you didn't do anything wrong.
You just forgot it. Just forgot.
And you do hear like an oops sorry and a splash come over the sweat box, and the effects aren't immediate, but you do feel a tiny bit cooler in there, and yeah, I mean honestly, I'll give that. I know how I'm gonna use that mechanically, so you're fine. You're good. Is there anything you'd like to try to do from inside the box?
Just see if I can hear anything.
All right, well, let's see another perception there.
And this one should actually be proper.
19 for a 26.
26.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, your 26 actually does beat the DC that I set for this. And
Pointy rat ears.
well, I mean, yeah, your rat ears. You manage to like position yourself just right to press your ear up into a thin spot through the wood and metal, and you do hear Officer Riaris and Mr. Plug conversating about the direction they're going and the length of the trip, and you do see that. They're confident in what's going on. They definitely believe that the captain's got it right this time, is what they're saying. We're going to hit the mother lode once we get where we're going. How much longer you think it is? And Crying takes a look up, and she looks up at the sun, unable to really navigate by that. And she says, well, probably another 4 weeks. If we're lucky, if the winds are good. Say, aye, another 4 weeks. We'll be rich beyond our dreams. And Crying just kind of like, well, you don't see what goes on, but Crying doesn't say much beyond that. And yeah, no, that's what you get there.
Alrighty then.
Oh, and of course you hear Cog whistling and chewing and spitting and occasionally like beating a tune on top of the sweatbox. Cool. Okay, so Morgan, you're heading below deck?
Yep.
Awesome.
See Grok.
Alright, so I'm gonna bring you down here, but before we get to you and Grok, I'm gonna check in with Eldin, me boy. How you doing?
Doing good. Just probably just kind of eyeing everything Kroop's doing, trying to learn the ways of the new cook. Because definitely still absolutely no idea what's happening. And with Quint out of the kitchen, he's got nothing good to use as reference.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
so all he's
Kroop
doing
is
is
a
following
terrible
what Kroop's doing.
teacher, as he's like, scratching his like hairy, sweaty, crusty pits and like using it out with the same fingers to handle the food. And you swear you saw him blow his nose into the stew at one point.
Yeah, not necessarily monkey see, monkey do, but it's all about the
chicken on his
fundamentals.
shoulder, though, kind of disturbingly, never takes her eyes off of you. Just like, doesn't matter where Kroop is in the kitchen, what he's doing, if he's like his back's to you, if he's facing you, if he's like, the chicken is just like staring at you.
At one point, while Kroop's facing away and the chicken's staring at me, I'll take the knife I'm using to chop stuff, look up, make dead eye contact with the chicken, just do one of these with the knife. Just kind of point, like, yeah, you're next, you know what's up. Here's the first one to go.
The chicken doesn't respond. Of course it doesn't, but you swear you feel the stares somehow get more intense.
Plans come together. We're having a chicken feast tonight, I'm telling you. The chickens are gonna go nuts and we're gonna just eat like kings. So it's all part of the plan.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna leave you and your chicken here alone then.
Yeah.
You guys can...
Me and the chicken haven't
That's right.
now.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do opposed fortitude saves here to see who blinks first.
Oh, God. Do chickens have to blink? Do I have to roll knowledge nature again?
Can chickens blink?
Before I engage in a staring contest with a chicken, do
Chickens
blink?
very much blink.
I feel like I should roll knowledge nature for that.
You know what? Go for it. Roll knowledge nature.
That is a 7, 4, 8, 9 plus 1. We're on the yoke. That's 10.
They do have a nictitating membrane.
They do blink. I mean, they can close their eyes, so it stands to reason that they blink.
Bold
Let's see.
assumption.
Do chickens blink? Let's see what Google tells
So
us.
we did. Now,
Chickens do have 3 eyelids.
we engage in a staring contest. That's it. It's over.
Uh,
Is that fortitude or will? Is that willpower?
Ooh, will would be pretty good. Yeah, let's do will save. Can you will your eyes open long enough to stare down a chicken?
Just a 16 for a 19.
All right. Let's see. What does the chicken get for
Willpower.
the chicken?
Keep my eyes
The
open.
chicken has a possibility of beating you. You understand?
Of course.
All right. Public roll.
This chicken's gonna roll natural 20.
Ooh,
God.
it is a
Let's
close
go.
game, but the chicken does break its gaze before you.
Feeling very satisfied myself. I turn back and keep chopping. Keep
Victory
working
for
away.
Eldin. Self high five.
It's not a no good, very bad day. That's all we need to know. High fives
Oh,
all around.
brilliant! Love to see it. All right. You successfully beaten a chicken at a staring contest. How did we get here?
I'm making a note of that. To win. I'm keeping that one.
All right. Quint, how's your fishing going, buddy?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably going okay. He's really got lost in the experience, and then after like a solid 30 minutes of quiet solitude, I think he'll kind of look over, notice Iru swabbing, and just kind of try to make eye contact with him, and then say, "Hey, Swab, there's so much oil around this deck. Do you think you could clean this up?" And he kind of gestures to the deck right beside him.
Iru just kind of like turns around. It's like, I swear I've already swabbed that area. And kind of like huddled over.
Mm-hmm.
That back still bleeding.
Yes. When you get close enough, I think Quint would like kind of keep looking out into the ocean and say, "Do me a favor and just start swabbing around me, but come close enough for me to touch you. I can probably take some of that pain away."
I need an adult.
Whistle?
Lie down and pick up
Iru
Besmara.
walks closer and starts just like swabbing.
He says, "Good lad.
Lie back.
If you don't mind me asking," and he maintains like looking out on the ocean. What were you trying to do earlier? Like, what's your angle here? What was up with that?
Well, I just didn't want to see any of the formidably made crew get hurt. I've been a pirate far longer than any of you have. And
Yeah.
I felt like it was.
Sorry, guys.
I felt like it was kind of a self-inflicted duty to want to protect you.
Well,
And that goes for everyone else.
I mean, I'm not going to disparage you for it, but if you want to look out for the formidably made crew, that includes yourself. But I mean, maybe I just don't fully understand. Were you hoping to take my punishment?
That's exactly what I was hoping to do.
I don't know.
Because of my days of a pirate, I know I've taken far more of a beating than you.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you have, but I don't know. I feel like there's something more to you. People don't just volunteer for punishment for other people. It just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I grew up on one of the few right pirate ships on the sea.
Yeah,
And I may not want to be my father, but I do look up to him a fair amount.
You keep mentioning that father. At least a couple days ago, you were. What ship did you grow up on, if you don't mind me asking?
I grew up on the oh Lord.
Well, that's okay. You can tell me in good time. I understand these things can be a little personal. Well, I don't understand why you would volunteer for punishment for me. Mainly because very clearly this man is bloodthirsty, and any opportunity to provide punishment for peons he's going to take. It was I suppose a noble gesture I'm not too used to being around people who do that kind of thing, but I don't think it's going to get you very far on this ship. Whatever ship you
The
grew
Red
up
Tide.
on, the Red Tide. Can Quint make a knowledge of some description to see if he knows that?
I'd give you knowledge local or knowledge history.
Okay. Well, you know what? He doesn't have either. I'll do a local, but he's with a DC 10 or whatever. He probably wouldn't know.
Let's see what you get.
Yeah, so 16.
So
Probably.
no, actually, I'd say so. You do recognize the name. You know that it was a powerful, rather infamous ship in its prime, but it seemed to have. You're not sure why, but you haven't heard much about it for quite some time.
That you're not kidding about the whole 50 years of pirate thing, then, because that's an old ship that's been sailing for some time. I haven't heard tales of it in the modern day, but I've heard stories.
Yeah, that the Red Tide has been out of commission for about 15 some odd years now.
Yeah, I see.
And that goes along with, well, the rest of the crew other than me.
Well, again, I mean, maybe I'm just a little too thick-headed, but what you did just doesn't quite make sense to me. That's okay. Maybe I'm trying too hard to understand it. I do request, if you are looking out for the formidably made crew, to, I don't know, maybe get better at not being the hero. I don't like having to take my time to protect people when it's not necessary. I can probably take some of that pain away, though. If you don't mind, I should be able to work. I can. Here, just hold on a second. Quint will actually stand up and kind of look around, and then he'll, like, really quickly. He's gonna provide hands of healing for Iru. Oh, you know what? No, he's gonna cast a spell. He's gonna cast Cure Light Wounds on Iru. And just patch him up a little bit, make sure he doesn't get too infected. He says, now, just because I don't understand it, maybe I shouldn't be going out of my way to spurn you, but be careful. This ship, it operates in a way that's completely, it's antithetical to how you operate, it seems. You have a look of, I don't know, some kind of Navy man to you. That doesn't make any sense to me, but be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Why, of course. If I knew I couldn't handle it, I wouldn't have offered.
That's fair. You probably know your limits much better than I would. Well, I suppose I'll let you get back to, well,
Swashbuckling.
swabbing your way. Yeah,
Washing.
I'll let you swab your way across this deck, I suppose. Thank you, I guess, for your misguided but altruistic attempts to help me. I wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, I'm not an idiot. That's kind of you, I suppose.
That actually pretty much summarizes how most people feel about altruism on this ship. I ain't no idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, I've told you before to be careful. I mean, I'm not gonna damper your spirit. Clearly, you figured out things in life that I haven't figured out, but be careful. And he heals you for 9 HP with his Cure Light Wounds.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed.
He says, "All right, we've probably been chatting for a little too long.
You are definitely starting to get a little bit of stares from the officers."
And he says, I'm gonna try to push you. It's not gonna be very realistic because you're about 6 feet taller than me, but
You're
Get outta here.
5'5".
get out of here. You've done enough mopping around here."
Iru kind of just takes a stumble back and just like, and keeps his walking and swabbing. Swabbing and walking.
Walking and swabbing. Good. All right. Well, as Iru parts ways, Quint, you see something a little disconcerting.
Mm-hmm.
You see a familiar bald man with a large rat tail braid, kind of doing his classic saunter towards you.
Yep. And that Quint would notice it. And he kind of puts the fishing rod off to the side, kind of locks it in place so it doesn't get pulled off. And he kind of nods to Mr. Plug. Says, Mr. Plug.
Cook. He stares a little bit, not quite sure how to word what he's about to say. He says, it pains me to say this, but the captain has requested that you make his food for the remainder of this voyage.
Sometimes I have that effect on people. I'm sorry, Mr. Plug. I'll try not to have that happen again. But if the captain requests it, I'm more than happy to cook him some food. Should that be a half ration?
Shit, okay, hold on. Let me compose myself. I was not expecting that. Man's been lashed and smacked around and... Okay. Very funny. That... If I wasn't ordered not to touch you, that would land you a beating.
With all due respect, I'm still learning the rules on this ship.
The rules are... do what the captain says. And
well then,
you see him like clench his teeth. Then he looks down at you, but understand, one step out of line, and I do not need to touch you to get you off this ship.
Understood. And he just kind of nods.
And he just walks away at that, not even daring to kick your fish bucket like he did last time.
Wow. Yeah. And at that, Quint releases his hold on the fish bucket.
Oh, you can tell you've made a very angry enemy.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
But you impressed the captain, so there's that.
Yeah. As soon as Mr. Plug is out of earshot, Quint just kind of exhales like, okay, that's good.
That's right. That's right. So you do actually will look up at the sun here and realize if you're supposed to cook the captain's meals every day, you don't have a lot of time left to do it.
All right. Yeah, Quint would kind of look at his bucket of fish. Be like, I don't have much time. All right. And assuming he's caught hopefully enough for today, he's going to start rushing down below deck.
What'd you roll earlier? A 22?
I think it was let me find out.
Oh, no, Ira rolled the 22. Quintus, you rolled the 18? No, sense motive. I don't know.
I'll tell you momentarily. One day.
It's there. It's here somewhere. We keep this history for a reason.
15, Profession Sailor?
Profession Sailor, 15. 15.
Profession Sailor?
Yeah,
I think it
15.
was
That's what it
Okay.
was.
Yeah, so 15.
Yeah, 15. You got enough for the day.
Cool. Yep, and Quint kind of is just like, shit, I got maybe an hour of daylight to get things going. And he's going to run to the galley.
It's going to be a terrible day to roll a nat 1 on a profession cook. Even then, it's a skill, so it's not like one means a failure.
It's true. Yeah. DM, you're welcome to move me down below, but he's going to rush off to the galley, and he's already thinking, like, I should have asked Mr. Plug what the captain wanted. That's fine. I'll just make do with what we have.
Every day the same thing. Variety. That's a dated reference. Anyway, okay, so Morgan, you were sent to the bilges, if I remember correctly. So we're going to pick up with you to go clear out some of those spiders that have been giving some of the crewmates some nasty bites and dealing some nasty damage to them.
Guessing just from the positioning, Morgan would be running into Quintus. So she'll lightly just kind of tap him on the shoulder and be like, "Oi, you busy?"
Quint, are you busy?
Yeah, I'm quite busy, but what's up?
I think there's some spiders we got to clean out in the bilges, and might be an opportunity to go and see what little miscreant that got dealt with was on about in terms of an escape.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I am a bit busy, official captain's business, if you catch my drift, but, well, maybe, yeah, I could help you out. Maybe Eru could be available as well.
Might be a good idea to get him. I mean, if anything, he's cannon fodder.
Yeah, I mean, one of my new favorite activities is making fun of him, but he's got a good heart, I think.
That is a stout one. All right. Perhaps we can get Eldin to fetch him. And how much longer has Tazzik got in that box?
Ooh, that is a good question.
He was good in a pinch.
Well, here, let's walk and talk. I gotta bring this bucket of fish to the galley. Eldin should be hiding in there.
Here, may I help you?
By all means. And he just holds up this big bucket up to you and says, "Here you go."
Morgan grabs it, no
You
problem.
were kidding about the whole strength thing. Well, off to the galley we go. Quint's gonna waddle on over.
As you walk past Owlbear, he smells the fish on you, and you see him beat his chest, and he motions at his mouth.
Quint kind of nods, says, "Yeah, 1 second, Owlbear. I don't know if I got any more crustaceans for you, but..." And Quint will kind of fish through the bucket and find the equivalent of a minnow or something that he didn't have the heart to throw back out.
Sardine. The word you're looking for is sardine.
Yeah. You'll find a sardine and just kind of toss it to Owlbear, see if he'll take it.
Owlbear looks at the sardine that is still flopping around, and he's poking it, not used to food that doesn't crunch. But he kind of shrugs and drops it on the floor and takes his favorite smashing stick and just pah! And just sardine guts go flying every which way as this poor little critter has popped like a meat-filled balloon.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun, but that's good protein. Don't waste it.
And to that, Owlbear nods enthusiastically and starts licking the rock.
Yeah, okay. Have fun. I'll see if I can find some crabs for you on the way out. But
Morgan might have some.
Buddy.
I mean, what?
Boo.
It's bad. It's real bad. Oh, man.
Check off my bingo card.
You feel a distinct itchiness that wasn't there yesterday.
Dying in the background.
Let me adjust my my garments, my undergarments.
Actually, not to be, I talked to Eldin about that. He's got this prestidigita thing, and it just cleans everything instantly. Trust me, it's spectacular. I have a little bit of scented soap left if you need, but
That I may take you up on.
Actually,
good God, does it stink in that galley?
Well, follow me in. Come on, 1 second. And Quint will hop into the galley, and he'll reach into one of the sacks, and he's going to take out the kind of remainder of the scented soap that he had. He says, "You should hold on to this."
Oh my God, civilization. Morgan just kind of pockets it like sacredly.
I picked like the worst time to take a drink of water.
Sorry.
Oh man, that was, oh god, I'm sure that was on camera. Me just like sip and then trying not to laugh. Oh, buzzing. Anyway, sorry guys, go ahead.
Eldin, I can see you're clearly very busy at work here. I've been given a very special task, and I think I'm gonna be pretty busy. But I understand Morgan might be visiting the bilges and might need a little bit of backup.
Take it.
All right. Group, how are we looking for the cruise meal? I assume we're in fairly good shape.
We are, and he's like picking his nose and like not really like the air is acrid with the smell of like burning fish, but Creep's the best you got apparently.
Yep. No, I can lend a hand for sure.
And Quint will kind of step in closer and say, "All right, I've been given a very unlikely task of preparing the captain's meal. I shouldn't have to stress how important that is. That is a very good opportunity. So I'm gonna bake my little ass off in here. And believe me, I would like to support you guys down below, but I don't think I can afford to take the time away."
Say no more.
Yeah.
You've got your job, and I would agree that's probably a priority. So
Morgan,
we'll be all right. We'll make do.
you said something about spiders?
I mean, if you need any, we can bring some back.
Oh no,
Sally.
that's okay. I
You
don't
still
know.
have the spiders from last time. That ear
That's
just left
right.
on the table.
Yeah,
He's still curing the rats. What do you mean?
I'm letting those spiders age.
Pickled spiders.
Delicious.
All right. Well, Eldin, we should probably gather Iru and, if possible, get Tazzik out of that damn box.
Yeah. Any idea what exactly we're dealing with? Is it just the small spiders, or something? They find something else down there that's going to be unpleasant again?
Not a bloody idea, but all I can say is get some fucking armor this time.
I don't need no
Ah.
wow.
About that, you guys are going to laugh. Funniest thing happened. We fought the spiders and the rats. I panicked, completely forgot I can actually use magic to make my own armor. That occurred to me, when I came back and we got our asses handed to us. That I probably should have thought about doing that at some point.
Eldin, this should have been a thing you mentioned to us.
Definitely should have.
Like, what were you thinking?
Clearly wasn't.
Besmara's Bane. Like, man, we're on a ship.
I know, it's crazy. Watch this. Tap myself, cast mage armor. Just the shimmer goes over his whole body as he is surrounded.
Morgan is just practically turning beet red at this. She's just like,
You just see
she's
Grok
losing her
is
mind.
laughing at what's happening in front of her.
Listen, it was a stressful day. I was having a terrible day. I didn't think it through. And then we came back and I started getting seasick, and that was just it, man. I was
Not
done.
very wise,
It's crazy.
Anya.
Not.
No. It's never been my strong suit. Look it, taking time to stop and think has never been my forte. So, let's go. We'll get some spiders. It'll be way better this time, probably.
If that's
Alright,
not your
alright.
forte, then why do we expect so much out of Iru? What the hell?
Beat shield!
I mean, hey, you're the one that keeps saying you've been a pirate for 50 years, man. That's a high bar that you set for yourself. Anyway, Grok kind of like, now, you're very prepared to go down there, but, maybe instead of fighting them individually. And she reaches below her, like, desk and she pulls out this, like, wooden barrel with, like, a giant X on it. And she says, perhaps this will be better use. And she just, like, smiles a little bit.
Oh, Grok, I love the way you think.
It's pesticide.
Quick and easy.
We have to
I-
spread it around every now and then to keep the spiders down. Can't get them all, but...
That makes a lot of sense.
And she just kind of like looks at you with your gentle glimmer of mage armor. I love that you forget to use it when you need it, but when you don't, you jump the gun.
It lasts for hours.
Yeah, you got a couple hours. It's true. It's true. You are technically correct.
Yeah, I got a couple hours. It lasts a while. I'll be all right.
El just goes up on deck and starts a scrap. With this, I have the power of God, and he goes and slaps Barnabas on the ass.
Yeah, that'll go well.
Guaranteed, it would be you wouldn't expect what would happen if you slapped Barnabas on the ass. Like, definitely wouldn't be able to see that one coming.
He would smile at you, return the pat, be like, "It's about time someone showed initiative."
He'd give you the same look that Grok gives Quint.
Oh no.
Oh Lord. Listen, I'm not feeding him Quintus.
Anyway, so Morgan, you have the option to go down there and fight them, or Morgan and Eldin, you have the option to go down there and fight the spiders one at a time, or you can take this wonderful gift that Grok is offering you.
I like that. Let's do that. That seems so much easier.
Morgan takes she'll take the keg, whatever it is, that's got the poison in it. Much appreciated, Grog. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Can either of you guys roll? See, craft alchemy would be the best one to roll for this, but I don't think either of you have craft alchemy.
No,
Good guess.
no, we don't.
So, and actually, I think
Nature. Survival?
I think nature would be the closest one here that I would accept.
I have a survival.
You can
Would
try
that
survival.
count?
I think sure. Let's do a survival one as well. But knowledge nature would get you. It'd be easier to succeed with nature.
Well,
I have
let's say
no
7
nature,
with
so-
knowledge nature.
And 7 and a
14.
9 for a
Oh,
14 in
God.
survival and a 6 for knowledge nature. 7 because you're on the ocean.
That's right.
Yeah, neither of you guys see no issue at all with using a pesticide in an enclosed area.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see how this goes. Hope you got your fortitude saves ready.
Oh.
Oh, mamacita.
Oh.
This somewhat good day is going to become a no good, very bad one very shortly.
Eldin moans in 12 Constitution.
Hey, it's still a positive.
Can Morgan still ask for her rapier and some chainmail, just in case?
Grok looks at you. It's like, okay. She hands you the rapier and the Morgan-sized chainmail. Have fun.
Look, we had a bad time last time. We're not taking chances this time. We're doing it right.
Absolutely not. And there's still those 2 rodents that are rancid down there because Tazzik's not been training them.
It's
Actually,
only
speaking
been
of
a
Tazzik,
night.
we should probably get him. Eldin, would you mind? No, you know what? You grab Iru. I'll go deal with Tazzik.
Was this a everyone task?
Wait, hold on. You're
I wouldn't want to pull. Ears already been in trouble this morning.
Oh
I
shit!
wouldn't want to pull him away.
yeah. So I kind of got what you were saying there, Zane. You cut out there. You got a little robot-y, but I do appreciate.
Okay, so it's
yeah,
not
you got. Eldin does realize that pulling Tazzik out prematurely is a good way to get y'all's killed.
Okay, he's still not due. Has it not been the amount of time that he's supposed
Tazzik
to be in
inside
there?
of the sweatbox? No, he's still in there for a little while.
Not yet. Okay. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, no, Tazzik is still very much in the
Figured-
box.
I figured it was time to pull
No.
him out. But,
Yeah, all right. He'll be out eventually.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
alright,
can
well,
hear you.
we gotta
Yep.
grab Iru out anyways, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, what I actually was trying to say was, are we sure we should be grabbing Iru? He already kind of got
Oh.
in trouble today. Maybe we should not pull him away from his work while they're watching him. Was this a task that was suggested to pick up extra hands, or was this kind of a you go deal with this kind of task?
Technically it was, but
For the sake of Iru's hide, I wouldn't go get him.
all
Unless,
right.
I mean, it's you guys RP. If Iru wants to risk his hide, he definitely can. But no skin off my back.
Nah. I think if
Because-
anything, it might be Morgan and Eldin that just go down on their own, if that's the
Yeah,
case.
I mean, look, she gave us.
There's got
she
enough
gave
holes
us
in
best
them.
door, chuck it in, close the door. Problem solved.
I got another
Okay.
idea.
All right.
Or do I? Shit.
Ah,
Excuse my language.
you could drink the pesticide.
Give you immunity.
Honestly, the stuff Morgan's probably going on inside her, is there really
Yeah.
a need? Is it gonna do her any
It
good?
might cure her.
Definitely can't make things any
Yeah.
worse.
God, it's like the bleach challenge all over again.
Oh,
Ooh. Anyway,
Anyway,
let's
Um,
just go. We'll toss some pesticides. We'll stay away
Yep.
from the webs. I learned that last time. We'll leave. Shut the door. Give her back the rest of the barrel. Done. Quick and easy. No fighting. No walking into webs. No getting into trouble. Odds are these spiders are not swimming up my leg in knee-deep water most of the time.
straight facts.
alright. I guess Morgan's just at the edge, kind of singing to herself, like, this is the way we deal with spiders, deal with spiders, deal with spiders. This is the way we deal with spiders. Fuck getting bitten in the morning. She's pouring out the pesticide.
You guys are just dumping it down the stairs. You're not going down there.
Probably should
Yeah,
go
let's
down
go.
there.
We'll
a
go
little
down.
bit.
Avoid the webs.
Hmm.
Just a tease.
Yeah.
Morgan is dressed in the armor at
All
this
right, cool.
point.
You took the time to put on the armor.
Just wanted to. Yeah. Should probably do in. Sheet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of start climbing down, watching his step, looking out for webs in every corner, just slowly, kind of jittery, looking around like no webs, no spiders, none of that today. Not doing it again
Nope.
as he makes his way down the ladder.
Would you like to roll perception, please?
Yep. Please.
With
No.
a 10.
That's a 10.
So natural 7 for a 10 to perception. Yeah, no, you're good. You see the cobwebs before they come up on you, and you manage to avoid them all. You can see the slight glint of eyes in the webs as the spiders are, watching you as much as unintelligent creatures can watch someone. But
Should Morgan
yes,
roll
if you'd
in
like
as
to roll
well?
Perception for me too. That'd be great. Then I'll drop you both down into the bilges, or if you can move yourself down into the bilge. Okay, you're 16 to perception. As you're pouring it, you manage to avoid all the cobwebs. No issue at all with that. You do see, of course, that Tazzik's rats are still kind of vibing in the corner. They're not really hostile towards you, but you can tell that they really don't like that you're in your space. And especially as you're like pouring stinky chemicals. But they don't look particularly hurt, which, given what happened in here last night, kind of surprised about. But as you're pouring out these chemicals, you do notice that there's a bit of a disturbance in the silt that's kind of built up in the bottom of the bilges here, and that there's an impression that something heavy landed here, and the silt kind of spread out away from that central location in the water there. So yeah, you look like it looks like something heavy landed there within the last 12 or so hours.
You see that too, right? You see that nice little particular shape of ring where something landed there?
I do.
Well, I'm not having a look at that. I'm just going to go back to spreading stuff around the corners. That's none of my business.
He just pulls out a cup of tea, just
chuck it out handfuls. Yeah, no, just he's got like a little raggedy wooden cup or something, just like chucking handfuls of pesticide in each of the corners.
All right, you can definitely you see that as so the pesticide's in a powder, and as the powder hits the water, it does begin to dissolve and aerate, and the bilges do become more and more intolerable the longer you're in there. But for now it's totally manageable. It's not like you're in any danger.
Starting to smell a little bit. Maybe we should go on with this pretty quickly, unless you want to really take a look at what's going on over there.
No, I've got no interest in being down here more than I need to.
Kind of look and see the rats and go, sorry, fellas.
No remorse.
finish the last cup of powder and be like, all right, I'm out of here. Start heading back.
Man, you've pissed off all the chickens on the ship. Now you're looking to piss off the rats.
Mm-hmm. We shut the door once we leave.
Yeah.
Also,
well, it's up a steep ladder, so
just mentioning that we shut the door.
All right, shut the door.
Probably the worst decision we could make, because no aeration, but they're not very smart pirates.
Oh dear. All right. So you spray your pesticides. If as you're leaving, you do definitely start to see some spiders kind of fall off the walls from where they were hanging onto, and yeah, drowning basically in the water as you're walking away.
Yes, now you bastards.
No raggarts. All right, so while you guys are down there in the bilges, I'm just gonna hop over here to Quint really quick. Quint, you're cooking up a storm. Would you like to roll a profession cook for me?
You got it. And I think I'm going to stimulate the hero point economy a little bit.
Ooh.
And I'm going to cash in one of my board here.
Ooh, a pre-roll hero point. My goodness.
Yep.
All right, so that's a plus
A plus
8.
8 luck bonus. I'm not going to bother with all the halfling shenanigans, mainly because they don't stack. Alrighty. Though he will definitely be looking for guidance. In fact, he says, the princess, this feast is fully in your name, as he provides himself with guidance.
Since it's a luck bonus, would Fate's Favored not make it a +9 for hero points?
You're absolutely correct. Thank you. That is actually a +9. How tasty. So +2 competence bonus for the tools, +9 from the hero point.
Yep.
Alrighty. This is okay. He knows he's got a mission here. He has to impress the captain again. With a natural 1. That is
okay, hold on. So natural 1 got you an 8? No, it should be more
an
than
8 apparently.
It
Hold
should
on.
be
8.
8 plus your +9's not.
Oh,
in there.
okay. Well, then that is an 18.
Okay. All right, that's better. I was gonna say, there's no
It's a
way.
natural 1 for an 18. Oh my god.
Yeah, that tracks.
I feels like a pretty good usage of a hero point.
Yeah, welcome to Pathfinder, everybody.
Woo!
Where it's not unheard of for a level 1 to have a +30 in a skill.
Yep, that's just normal.
All right, so Quint, with your with your 18 on your natural 1, you do manage to cook a beautiful meal despite the fact that you are rushed. You do feel the pressure. This definitely isn't your best work, but it's a hell of a lot nicer than whatever the fuck Croup made. And Croup kind of looks at what you're doing, cooking up a storm. And she just like, you see a little bit like a point of pride there. Like he's definitely feeling like he taught you how to cook.
Quint will do nothing to make him think otherwise. Like, yeah, I think I'm starting to pick up some of this there, Croup. You're a great inspiration.
And he says, well, you know what they say, those who can't teach. And he goes back to cooking.
I think he does legitimately laugh at that. Gets back to work.
All right, so I'm gonna check in with Iru really quick. But before I do that, Morgan, Eldin, anything you guys want to do before we move along here to the evening, to the nighttime?
I was just gonna say I was gonna take, because I kind of brought out that junky wooden cup I was using to shake all the powder around. I'm gonna take one extra scoop out of the pesticide before we're back in view of Grok, and kind of stash it in a nice dry corner behind some of the barrels over roundabout here.
Okay, all right. I think that's. I'm not sure if that's a sleight of hand or if that's a stealth to hide an object.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking more like as we're closing the door, like before we're kind of near where Grok is, but yeah, I guess when I go over to this corner, she would kind of maybe see me a little bit, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think let me actually like literally see what her point of view is from there. Yeah, she would very much see where you're standing. See you from where you're standing. So recommendation. I mean, it's fine. She's distracted. She's not looking for you. Even if she does, I don't think she'd really care. But yeah, go ahead. I guess yeah, hide that. Take your time.
Yeah.
Give yourself. All right.
All right, cool.
Cool. Duly noted.
So you want? Okay, so yeah, so that's just kind of tucked in around
Yeah.
one of the barrels down the side there, just between them.
All right, cool. I will keep. Well, I guess you will keep that in mind. If you don't remember it, I ain't gonna tell you. Cool. All right, good to know. Hiding gonna call that a dose of pesticide. And awesome. So you're that's it, Morgan. You don't have anything you were planning on doing?
Nope. Just getting ready to just turn
Perfect.
everything
Okay.
over, so to speak.
Tazzik, you're still vibing in the box. And Iru, anything you want to do before we progress here to the evening?
I'm probably just gonna head down to the basement, just keep on swabbing.
All right, so here, I'll pop you down. Well, you go down to the basement then. I'm just gonna quick cutscene here because there's nothing of note's gonna happen for the next few hours as you guys finish up what you're doing. Those of you who are working in the kitchen, you do hear the faint sounds of scratching coming from the bilge doors.
You hear that, Croup?
Hear what?
It's like scratching. Like, did Eldin and them get trapped under there? What is that?
I mean, Eldin is very much not trapped. You do see him like come back into the kitchen and working, but
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
later now, right?
Yeah.
This is the evening.
Yeah.
so it is.
How went down below?
You open.
I mean, we distributed the pesticide that Grok gave us, and then we came back up.
All right. Well, I'm sure whatever that scratching is just means it's working.
Technically correct. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we firmly we didn't want anything getting out.
Yeah, man's only spitting facts here. Okay, so the evening progresses, and Iru, since you're up on the main deck, or no, you said you came down below, but you guys, so this is after dinner time, after you guys have been fed, whatever. Tazzik does get let out of the sweat box. He's in not very good shape. He's barely standing still, right? The time in the box was not very good. And the officers don't really acknowledge him. They just kind of open the box and let him slump out. So Tazzik, this is well after food has been served out, so you haven't gotten to eat today. And I'm going to give you the opportunity. What do you want to do?
I stand up, look at the nearest officer, and go, "What kind of idiot tries to escape from the bilges?" And then slump off down towards the lower decks.
And you hear a cry and says, "Aye, what kind of idiots indeed?" As she's like staring at you. All right, so you said you're going below deck? All right.
Yeah.
translate you over down here. Iru, this is very much like where you guys saw last evening, where the ship is, most of the officers have retired to bed, and you see that the crew have begun gambling. Phipps is a little different. You see Phipps is actually down here too, kind of sitting in the corner, not really vibing with talking with anybody, but he's just there, kind of rocking back and forth on his heels. Rosie is singing a very inappropriate tune, and you can tell that she's missing something, like the way her hands move. You feel like they're accustomed to doing something while she sings. But you got Conchabar and Ratline. They're clapping along, as well as Kipper. He's enjoying the company, and you guys also know Kipper's name, and his doesn't show up. So let me fix that. There we go. People are kind of gathered around. Even Owlbear's getting into it, kind of beating his chest in time. Quint, you actually get a very important mission. Because you see, after the crew has been fed, the captain gets his food. Mm-hmm. So, we're going to do that in a second, because I did promise Tazzik the floor. Tazzik, what are you up to, buddy?
Gonna go and open the door to the villages.
When you open the door, your senses are just accosted by the smell of this pesticide. Like, your eyes are burning, and like it's difficult for you to breathe. Do ratfolk actually have scent? I can't remember. I don't think so.
I don't believe. I think it's an option, but I didn't take it.
That's good. But yeah, like your sinuses are burning, your eyes are watering, and yeah. Well, so what do you want to do, buddy?
Can I see enough inside to see if the rats are down there?
The rats are down there. They have made an attempt to escape given their positions, but have passed out and collapsed into the water, where they remain unmoving and just floating there.
Just shake my head and say this ship's gonna burn, and close the door.
I feel so bad.
Tazzik, you're free. How are you standing? Hold on a second. Quint will walk over and, without even thinking, throw a cure light wounds on Tazzik. Careful, they got spiders and shit down there. I think they just threw some insecticide in there. I don't know. I was a bit busy. Careful, though.
They killed my rats.
Yeah, no, I think that's accurate. That's unfortunate. And he'll give you 8 points of healing.
Can I offer you an egg?
Yeah. It's only physical healing. All the emotional anguish, that'll stick with you. Yeah, no, you had some kind of connection with them, but, well...
They were one of my plans to get off this ship. Doesn't seem like anyone else is going to be of much value. When I try to stomp off.
Yeah, no, I'd be quiet about that.
Does anyone have resurrect? I'm sure if you pull your resources, you can afford the $5,000 diamond, 5,000 gold piece diamond. 50,000?
We'll just ask Grok for one.
Tazzik, how important were these rats to you?
They were just harmless creatures.
Okay.
That they were lost on this ship is more proof that this ship is awful.
Well, you're absolutely right there, but there might be ways to bring them back. I'll just leave it at that.
There's just ways to avenge them now.
Ooh, Tazzik's a man of commitment and sheer fucking will. All right, Tazzik, anything, anywhere in particular you're stomping off, or are you just gonna go sulk?
I'm going to. Is Grok's store, or sorry, Cutthroat Grok's store?
Yeah, it's closed.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna stomp off and sulk.
All right, sounds good. Quint, are you ready to
Amazing.
take a step into the captain's private room?
Yes, he will. He will place the captain's food on the equivalent of a serving tray and very carefully carry it all the way above deck into the captain's quarters.
Awesome. Would you, as you walk by with this like delicious plate of food, you are once again greeted by Owlbear, like pointing into his mouth.
I think Quint would kind of look around. Do I see any more barrels of
Oh, dude,
crustaceans
there's like
anywhere?
tons of like there's lots.
All right. Hey, I owe you one. Hold on. And he'll like kind of look around and then look to Eldin and say, "Can you hold this for me for just a second?" And then just kind of put this huge serving tray in his
Eldin, roll a
hand.
strength check.
And he'll,
I'm joking.
and he'll fish out.
No.
You'll find a nice choice crustacean and throw it to Owlbear.
Owlbear's
I know you like the crunch.
Owlbear like just very appreciative of the crustacean, and he starts freaking out and smashing it and whatever, and the people who are nearby like listening to Rosie Cuswell's pretty raunchy tune, all kind of like a little grossed out as they like lean away from the smattering of crab guts. And I guess you would continue to make your way up to the top of the deck. So you get there and just ignore all these officers. Most of these guys are in bed. I'm just gonna disappear them. Thought I did, but I guess I misclicked. There we go. And so yeah, Croup kind of gave you the rundown. Knock twice and wait.
Yeah, Quint will head over to the to where the officers' quarters are. He'll just kind of, all right, princess, I hope you got my back. He'll cast guidance on himself, and then he will knock and wait.
All right. Well, as you're waiting there, you do see that Sly is on deck, and she's staring at you, and you see this like sick grin on her face as she's like getting comfortable to see what's about to happen. And here, actually, I'm going to pop you up over here where you actually see the door. So it's right there in front of you. Yeah, you have the door sign there.
Perfect.
And through the door, you hear the familiar sound of the captain's boots as he stomps his way closer. And he unlocks the door. You hear multiple locks being released as whatever the door opens up. And he says, "Come in."
Yes, Captain. And Quint will carefully carry in the huge tray. And as he does, he'll kind of, out of habit, kick the door closed behind him.
All right, let me actually... There we go. I meant to have that lit. And this over here. And then... that light, there we go. Okay, perfect. All right, so the captain's rooms are pretty dimly lit. The first room that you walk into is, there's a couple doors to it. There's one on the southern part of the ship. Or not the southern, I guess this would be west wall, the western wall. And the captain's walking towards there, and you do notice that there is another door. Could you get a roll perception for me, please, as you're walking through here?
Sure. Yep. And I will not use my guidance on this. We're just going in blind.
All right. All right, you're 7 to perception.
It's a 7.
Yeah, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. This is very much the ship is spare. It's pretty. Yeah, there's not much to it. With the captain, again, opens up another door and steps through, and he turns to you and says, "Follow."
Yes, sir.
And he kind of leaves you to. He gestures at a table there in the corner that's lit by a small candelabra. As he walks over to a desk, and you see him kind of working away. As your experience on ships in the past, you recognize that he's plotting a course. And interestingly, though, that table isn't lit. You get the sense that the dark doesn't bother the captain.
Mm-hmm. The dark never bothered
That's
him
right.
anyways.
He was born in it, molded by it.
Mm-hmm.
And since this is a different room, um, the captain's room is lavish, to say the least. Like, this is above and beyond the nicest nicest room on the ship. Shoot, what else is there to say about it? I mean, there's 5 windows in it that obviously overlook the sea. They're all gorgeously ornate. The center window actually is a can you roll knowledge religion?
Yep. I am actually trained.
Ooh, finally. 18. All right, excellent. You're
18.
14 for your natural 14 to get an 18. You do immediately recognize that as it's the words. The stained glass mosaic that is this window portrays Besmara, and it overlooks his bed. And
Quint will.
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Quint will just kind of make his way over to the serving table in the corner and kind of gingerly, well, not really gingerly, he'll just put his food out and start arranging it in a appetizing looking way. And he's mostly kind of nodding to himself in appreciation of just the aesthetics of the room. But he's not going to say anything out of turn. He's going to stay quiet, not put his foot in his mouth.
All right.
And as he does, he'd also kind of just sideways glance at the chest at the foot of the bed and just see if he can clock a lock on it.
There is a lock on it. I guess roll perception for me too. Get your,
Yep, you got it.
Or knowledge engineering,
It's worth mentioning, I did already roll a perception check, but I can roll another one for you.
Yeah, I'm calling. My usual rule is like, if it's a new room, it's a new room.
If you're looking at something new. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, 8.
Yeah, it's an 8. You do see that it's a lock, and the chest is in pretty good shape. So piecing that together, you probably get the impression that this is a pretty hard lock to break. But you do gather some more of the room, and you do see that there is another door just off there in the distance, and that one, it's dark. Do you have dark vision?
Halflings do not.
Okay, that's what I thought. I think there's like an alternate racial trait that gets them that or something, or maybe I'm thinking of gnomes. I may be thinking of gnomes. But yeah, no. The room's dimly lit for sure, and there isn't much else here to describe. As you do turn to leave, however, the captain kind of says, "Where did you learn to cook?"
Captain, I picked it up along the way. Spent some time working as a maitre d', is that the word? I spent time making sure a very fancy household stayed in order, and I learned quite a few methods of cooking while in that employ.
He takes a second to ponder your answer, and you see him nod a little bit. He's not really turning to face you at all. He's still more engrossed in his maps, and he says, "Do not worry. It is a pirate's way to steal others' property." And
at that, Quint kind of shrugs and says,
That it is. Suppose I fit in fairly well on this ship.
you half men have a special place on my ship.
I've noticed you've got a few of us in your employ. That's good.
And he says, I've never been a fan of the Chelish Navy. They have taken much from me. And this weird moment of solemnity that he has here. He turns to you and says, "You can leave."
Understood. And, yeah, you will find no love for the Chelish here.
And at that, he kind of stiffens his back a little bit, and he says, "Enjoy your meal, Captain." And he heads out.
Can you roll a sense motive for me too as you leave?
Yes.
Absolutely. And I will say, at the mention of the Chilaxian Navy, I think Quint does his jaw kind of tightens.
Hmm.
You said sense
Yes,
motive.
sense motive, please.
That is a natty 20 for a
All
19.
right, nice. Oh man, that's a okay. So you're 20 for a 19. Um, you see that there's a bit of reservation in his posture. Like I said, he's not really looking at you, so it's hard to gauge his feelings. But you do sense a slight change in his posture when he mentions the Chelish Navy. But he's still mostly that's what I'm looking for here. His posture's fine, but you notice there was a little bit of a stiffening there. And yeah, go ahead, do as you will.
You'd be hard pressed to find a halfling that appreciates anything Chilaxian. And he makes his way out of the room. He kind of glances towards the other door to the north and then heads right towards the only entrance.
With that door to the north, the thing that stands out about it more than any other door on this ship is that it is reinforced to all hell.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Quint makes a mental note of that. And he does. He quietly assesses what he can, and then he heads out.
All right. And close the door behind you, I'm assuming.
Yep.
All right.
And I guess while in this room, he'll clock this door as well, just to see if it's locked. I don't think he'll touch it, but he'll look to see if there's a keyhole.
The door does not have a key on it.
Cool. Quint will kind of quietly continue. Now's not the time to get caught red-handed in the captain's cabins.
Alrighty. Oh, what the fuck?
And assuming that nothing else too crazy happens, Quint will take a deep breath and say, oh, good. Then he'll continue down below, see if he can join in on some of the festivities.
Alrighty, well, I'll get you down there. That's the wrong deck. Iru, are you above deck or below deck?
I'm still above
You're still
deck.
above deck. You're just vibing out there, watching the water.
Yeah.
All right, Quint, you can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm going to give you all a last call to perform anything that you would like to before I end the session.
Just at some point in the evening, not any time in particular, Eldin was going to kind of make his way up and catch a bit of fresh air and take advantage of his weather savvy ability and kind of get a sense of what the weather's looking like for the next 24 hours.
Cool. So just give me a second here. Let me roll for it. Da-da-da-da-da. Awesome. You got so luckily no storms on the horizon. It is going to be cloudy though, so it's going to be difficult to really gauge where you are and where you're going.
All right, fair enough. And then after that, just kind of make his way back down, join the revelry, and eventually make his way to bed.
Awesome. And cool. So Morgan, anything you'd like to do before bed?
Well, Morgan's still feeling a little off, so I was thinking she was going to go see Stitch.
Stitchman. All right, cool. So Stitchman's already retired, but your best bet's probably to find him tomorrow morning.
All right, she's going to go to
Okay.
Quintus, actually. And just kind of come in and be like, hey, I'm not feeling 100%. You mind maybe doing some of those wavy hands of yours?
Well, I don't mind at all, but I think I can provide something a little more practical. Hold on. Follow my eyes if you can. And, actually follow this flagon. And he starts, holding this big mug of whatever grog is there and starts pushing it back and forward. And I'd like to provide, a heal check to see if I can figure out what's going on.
That would be a heal check.
You got it.
Of course, he'll guidance himself, and
Anything I
Nope,
need to
you're
roll?
fine. See, heal, that would be a pretty... Okay.
oh
Wow,
my
all right,
goodness,
19 for
yeah,
23.
it's a 23.
All right, well, you given the situation that you found Morgan in with with fighting the rats a couple days ago and whatnot. You do immediately begin to recognize the symptoms of rat bite fever, but thankfully, she seems to be mostly through the worst of it. I mean, tomorrow will tell. She might get better, she might get worse, but she's doing pretty okay.
Yeah. Well, my friend, I do believe you've got a little bit of a rat bite fever going on there. Mainly, you're gonna feel a little spacey. Your eyes are gonna get a little redder. Your joints are gonna get quite sore. But there's not much I can provide other than just lots of water and good food. It will hopefully clear out of your system. Just try to get some sleep. At another time, I might have been able to provide something a little more sustainable. Quint's going to look you over. Do you look overly wounded?
She's probably got a couple bites on
Yeah.
her here and there.
Well, for posterity's sake, he'll provide hands of healing, and just like before, he puts some kind of solution on his both wrists, and then he kind of rubs them together, and he exhales, and he touches. He probably cups your arm that's been badly bitten, and he'll give you just a single little bit of hands of healing. Kaboom!
Very nice.
And that is 2. You get 2 entire points of healing.
Love to see it.
Yep.
Morgan just kind of turns to Quint and is like, any chance I could have passed it on to anyone?
Well, how much do you incorporate biting?
Well,
Yeah. There are some good, very communicable diseases if you want to weaponize this, but I'm afraid this is more of a salivary into the bloodstream type deal. So, yeah.
there may have been a few bites, but
Short answer, no. Long answer,
damn.
yeah.
All right.
I have faith.
And here I was hoping. Well, I thank you for your services.
Oh, no trouble.
All right.
Don't ever be afraid to reach out.
So,
And as I said, if you need any assistance, you let me know.
Oh, I feel you. I need to recuperate, but I feel you.
all right.
Maybe tomorrow.
So with 5 minutes left before I cut off time, or sorry, 4 minutes now, I'm going to say that was great. Quickly, I'm going to call out Iru here. You've done some, stuck to Iru's guns, put yourself in a hell of a lot of danger, and, did an excellent job with the RP, so I will grant you a hero point for that.
Woo!
So just
Got the hero point back that I used.
for
Let's go.
posterity's sake, Eldin
Hell yeah.
did get one before the game started. So that's another one that's been awarded. That's what, 4 hero points awarded now? 3?
At least.
And now, before we finish off this game, I'm going to come over here to Tazzik really quick. And Tazzik, what are you up to, buddy?
Tazzik was going to see what he could scrounge in this room when it comes to chemicals and stuff like that.
All right. Well, as you're looking around, you notice something that's a little bit bizarre. Your footlocker definitely has been tampered with at some point. It's a little bit out of alignment from where you left it. Things just ain't right. So you walk over there and you take a look at what's going on. You pop it open. You notice that the lock's still there. Like, still everything's more or less the same. So you unlock it. You open it up. And you're greeted by a soft, glowing gemstone sitting amongst what little personal effects you have. And you feel something tickle the inside of your head as it says, "So, tell me what you know." And that's where we're going to leave the game for this week.
Ooh.
Got
a fancy stone.
Fancy stone.
Fanciest
Stone. All right. So, guys, thank you.
Nobody ever used the word fancy. I didn't do it.
All right. Thank you, everyone in the Twitch world, for coming around and spending
you.
time with us.
Gracias, everyone.
If you like what you see, definitely feel free to leave a follow. And, we'll be back next week. Same bat place, same bat channel, same bat time. I can't remember how that one goes. Same bat time, same bat place. Is that it?
Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's right. That's what it is. All right. So take it easy, gentlemen, and we will see you guys next week.